Okay, welcome back to Teachable Moments. This one is about finance and contracts. So it doesn't sound very exciting, but I think if you watch carefully, you'll see some things that are quite fascinating. Michael Kaditz put this one together. The two people we'll meet here are Joe McLeod, who is the Associate Director of Urban Parks, and Amit Ganda, who is the Director of Parks for Vancouver. I teach psychology and English, and as a teacher of psychology, I'm really interested in body language. I would encourage you to watch some of the body language in this video, in this teachable moment, and decide for yourself, what's going on. Okay, so this is Michael Kaditz, who has done a ton of work combing through all of the documents, all of the finances, and all of the policies and procedures of the Vancouver Park Board. Okay, so enjoy this teachable moment.
During the public speaker segment of the October 8th, 2024 Vancouver Park Board Committee meeting, Michael Robert Kaditz alleged that in signing a $2.7 million contract with B.A. Blackwell and Associates for tree removals in Stanley Park, City of Vancouver staff were in contravention of their procurement policy, which required Park Board approval to commit to any contract worth more than $2 million.
It's stated in the report, which has been submitted by Mr. McLeod to the board for consideration, that all consultant and contractor contracts relating to this work have been in accordance with the City of Vancouver's procurement policy. I allege that this is false. The City of Vancouver procurement policy, which I have on page, starting on page 11 through 13, 15 of my document pack, show, if you refer to page 19, it clearly states that any contract of $2 million or greater must be approved by, among other entities, the Park Board. The Park Board did not approve this contract, which was a $2.7 million contract, and you can see the details of it on page 23 of my report. $2.759 million in June of 2024, that's the current contract, was not approved by the Park Board. This is a violation of the procurement policy.
After hearing the allegation, Park Board Chair Brennan Bostivansky asked Associate Director of Urban Forestry Joe McLeod, the main proponent of the tree removal project, whether the procurement policy had been followed.
My question to staff is about the procurement process. Single source contract and the procurement process for with the city. Can you just talk to that process, and was it actually followed?
Thank you for the question. Yes, the procurement process was followed. We worked immediately with the our procurement team. And they basically walk us through the process as to what requirements, what protocols we need to follow, depending on what the value is associated with each contract. Looking at how many quotes we need to obtain, the validity and basically if we're in line with the policy, where sole source contracts may be used, and what requirements we need to follow or adhere to in order to basically follow sole source contracts. So we basically follow the guidance of that team at the city and always remain compliant with that. So yes.
Before the vote, Bostivansky drilled down on whether the dollar amount of the contract with Blackwell exceeded the threshold above which board approval would be required.
And there was one point made by one of the speakers tonight about the requirement for approval for contracts valued over $2 million. That usually comes to Park Board. So can you speak to that?
I believe that was reference to the emergency work, and within the procurement policy, when it's something that is deemed as emergency work, we followed the procedures through procurement, and that does not need to come to the board. It goes through procurement and through the bid committee process.
Yep. Thank you kindly.
Mr. Ganda's statement was false. The contract, explicitly referenced by Mr. Kaditz, signed on June 21, 2024, was the result of a competitive RFP, not a sole source contract. McLeod and Gonda claim that in an emergency, the normal requirement for a competitive bidding process can be legally bypassed, and a sole source contract may be awarded without board approval. Indeed, this was invoked on September 11th, 2023, when city staff declared an emergency based in part upon information provided by Blackwell. Blackwell was awarded a sole source contract without park board approval and logged the park from fall of 2023 through spring of 2024, when the contract was completed and logging was halted for the summer. But no such emergency was asserted in mid-2024 when a new competitive RFP was issued, and B.A. Blackwell was again selected. Because the new procurement was competitive and no emergency existed, commitment from the elected commissioners was required, but not obtained, before staff would have been authorized to sign the June 2024 supply agreement with Blackwell. Blackwell has now resumed logging operations under the new contract, which was signed in June 2024 by City of Vancouver staff who were not authorized to do so.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I know it got a bit technical with contract language and procurement policy, but I do think you probably had fun watching the body language. It's just an educational experience. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in to another Teachable Moment, and we'll have more coming up. Okay, we'll see you in a while. Bye-bye. Teachable Moment.